I killed my sister. Not with a gun or a knife, nothing that dramatic. Nothing that would make the evening news in some podunk town like ours in suburban Ohio, but with a single, deliberate click on a black market app that promised to rewrite your very soul. It was the kind of app whispered about in the dark corners of Silicon Valley after-parties, the ones where venture capitalists snort lines off mirrored conference tables and dream of cheating death. 3 months ago, my sister Elena dumped her 3-year-old daughter Lily on my doorstep like yesterday's trash. And, in that moment, as the rain soaked through my thin robe and Lily's wails pierced the night, I knew betrayal had a face. Elena's. Smirking from the driver's seat of my stolen SUV before she peeled out into the storm. But the real shock? I wasn't even me anymore. Not entirely. It started with a secret I'd buried deeper than the bodies in those true crime podcasts we used to binge on lazy Sundays. Elena and I were twins, identical down to the freckle on our left collarbones, the kind of mirror-image sisters who could swap lives for a day and fool everyone. Growing up in Cleveland's Rust Belt shadows, we learned early that family was the only currency that didn't depreciate. Dad split when we were kids. Mom OD'd on pills by our 10th birthday, left us with a duplex that smelled like regret and a stack of medical bills that forced Elena into modeling gigs and me into nursing school. I was the good one. The fixer, Nora. The night shift RN at Cleveland Clinic. The one who covered for Elena's wild nights. Who forged her sick notes when she blew rent on coke-fueled weekends. And, oh, did she owe me? The crime? It wasn't even hers. Not at first. 2 years back, Elena got tangled with Victor Hale, the tech wunderkind who'd turned a garage startup into Hale Dynamics, the company behind half the neural implants buzzing in executives' skulls these days. Victor was power personified, 6'4", shark-toothed smile. The kind of guy who donated to politicians on both sides just to keep the FDA off his experimental toys. His latest? EchoSwap, a Black Ops body transfer protocol. Supposedly for paraplegics, but really for the elite to hop-skip mortality. Upload your consciousness. Download into a fresh shell. Elena was his muse. His test dummy. The one he paraded at Davos while she popped Xanax like candy to dull the migraines from the neural probes. But Victor's empire had rot at its core. Insider trading. Rigged trials. Whispers of subjects waking up in the wrong bodies. Trapped in strangers' decaying husks. Elena knew. She was the one who'd hacked the server during one of their sessions, downloading proof that could tank his IPO. Instead of going public, she tried to blackmail him. Stupid. Victor didn't pay, he played. He framed her for embezzling from the R&D fund, funneled money through her accounts, made it look like she'd siphoned millions for cosmetic surgeries. The feds were closing in, warrants itching for her arrest. That's where I came in. The fall guy. Elena begged me over a burner phone. Nora, you're clean. Take the hit. Just sign the plea, say it was you. Some desperate nurse dipping into pharma samples. I'll wire you enough to disappear. Desperation makes fools of us all. I loved her. That toxic knot of blood and bone. So I did it. Pleaded guilty to felony fraud. Served 6 months in county lockup while she played house with Victor in his Malibu compound. When I got out, probation hanging like a noose.
She ghosted me.
No calls. No Venmo drops. Just silence. Until that rainy April night when she showed up unannounced. Lily bundled in a car seat, eyes puffy from crying. Elena? What the hell? I'd yanked open the door. The storm howling like a banshee. She looked wrecked, hair matted, designer coat frayed at the cuffs, Nothing like the glossy Instagram version she'd curated for the world. Take her.
Nora.
Just for a bit. Victor's. Things are bad. He's watching me. Her voice cracked. But her eyes?
Steel.
Calculating. She thrust the diaper bag at me. Lily's tiny fists balled in sleep. You're her aunt. Family. I should have seen it then. The flicker of triumph behind the tears. But exhaustion from double shifts blurred the edges. I scooped up Lily, her warmth seeping into my chest like a promise I couldn't refuse. Elena leaned in, kissed my cheek, too close, too lingering, and whispered, "Trust me,
Sis.
this is for the best." Then she was gone, taillights vanishing into the downpour. My SUV's engine a mocking roar. The first week was survival mode. Lily didn't sleep. She screamed through the nights, her little body feverish with some virus Elena must have ignored. I juggled feeds and bottles one-handed while scrolling job boards on my cracked phone. Probation meant no clinic work, just gig economy scraps like Uber Eats and the rusting Civic I'd bought off Craigslist. Bills piled up, rent on my shoebox apartment in Parma, Lily's formula that tasted like chalk, the electric bills spiking from the humidifier whirring like a jet engine. Friends? What friends? The ones who'd visited me in jail dried up quick. Whispers of white-collar criminal, tainting every hello. My landlady, Mrs. Kowalski, banged on the door daily. No kids here. Nora. Lease says single occupant. By week 2, the migraine started. Sharp, electric stabs behind my eyes, like needles threading through my skull. I chalked it up to stress, popped Mom's old Vicodin stash. But the dreams, God, the dreams. Flashes of Victor's lab, sterile white walls, humming servers. Elena strapped to a gurney, her screams echoing as code streamed across monitors. I'd wake gasping, Lily's cries sinking with the phantom pain, convinced it was PTSD from lockup. Then the emails began. Anonymous. Routed through Tor, grainy photos of me, not me. Elena, leaving Hale Dynamics with briefcases, timestamps matching the fraud dates. You thought you could run? One read. The swap is permanent. Enjoy the kid. She's collateral.
Swap.
My stomach dropped. I Googled it feverishly. Echo swap scandals buried under NDAs. Lawsuits dismissed as delusional claims. Bodies exchanged like outfits at a thrift store. How'd Elena? Panic clawed at my throat. I drove to her last known spot, a seedy motel off I-71, but the clerk shook his head. Blonde? Yeah. Checked out weeks ago. Paid in hundreds. Lily babbled in the back. Oblivious. Her chubby fingers clutching a stuffed rabbit Elena had sewn, crooked stitches. Love woven into every seam. I wanted to hate her, this tiny anchor dragging me under. But her eyes, Elena's eyes, my eyes, stared back with trust that cracked me open. Month 1 blurred into audits. Social services sniffed around after a neighbor reported screaming baby, but I charmed the caseworker with coffee and lies about Elena's temporary work trip. Victor's shadow loomed larger, drones buzzing my windows at night. My bank app glitching with phantom deposits I couldn't touch. The migraines worsened, visions bleeding into daylight, Elena's voice in my head, laughing. You always were the better mother. Nora. Mother? The word lodged like glass. I hit rock bottom on a Tuesday, Lily colicky and me unraveling, when the app pinged my phone. Echo fix. Reverse the echo. One-time offer. $500,000. A dark web link. Biometric scan required. My thumb hovered. Heart hammering. Reverse? So it was true. Elena had done it, swapped us while I slept off a shift. Her kiss a vector for the upload. I was in her body now. The faint cesarean scar on my abdomen proof. While she pranced in mine. Clean slate. No probation ink. The betrayal burned. She'd stolen my life to flee hers. Left me saddled with the evidence of her failures. Lily. The fraud rap. Victor's vendetta. But revenge? It whispered sweeter than justice. I pawned the rabbit for seed money. Hit up old nursing contacts for under-the-table cash. Installed Tor. Dove into hacker forums. Learned the code. The backdoors. Victor's empire wasn't ironclad. It was a house of mirrors. Reflections of lies. Lily's laughter became my fuel. Innocent. Untainted. I'd fix this for her. For us. Even if it meant becoming the monster Elena fled. As the second month dawned, I stared at the app's glowing icon. Lily asleep on my chest. One click. And the swap reversed. But what then? Elena in this shell. Trapped with the consequences? Or deeper, expose Victor. Drag them all down? The decision twisted like a knife. Controversial. Yeah, risking a kid in the crossfire. But family? It demanded blood. The forums called it ghosting the grid, erasing your digital footprint to hunt without being hunted. I started small, a burner laptop from a guy in Akron who dealt in stolen identities. His shop smelling like solder and stale weed. You look like you need to disappear. Lady, he'd said, eyeing Lily strapped to my chest. I paid in crumpled 20s. No questions. Back home, with Lily napping to the hum of a white noise machine, I mapped Victor's web. Hail Dynamics Public Face was innovation. Neural links for the disabled. AI therapy for vets. The underbelly? Contracts with black site contractors. Swaps for oligarchs dodging war crimes trials. Elena's hack had captured it all. Logs of transfers. Timestamps linking Victor to shell companies laundering billions. My new body, Elena's, betrayed me daily. Her curves drew stares at the grocery store. Catcalls from truckers that made my skin crawl. I caught my reflection in the bathroom mirror. Fuller lips. Sharper cheekbones. But the eyes? Mine. Haunted. Lily called me Mama No, a toddler's mashup that gutted me. Was it instinct? Or did the swap leak memories? Flashes hit during diaper changes. Elena's labor. Victor's cold hands on her belly. Lily's first cry drowned in sterile air. I wasn't her, but pieces lingered. Like malware in the wetware. Betrayal deepened with every discovery. Elena hadn't just swapped to escape the feds, she'd engineered it. Months before the drop-off, she dosed my coffee during a girls' night, neural nanites priming my brain for upload. Victor's tech, refined in his labs, allowed selective transfers, consciousness hop, body lock. She took my unscarred frame, my clean record, left me in hers, the addict's tolerance, the surgical scars, the warrant heat. And Lily, not abandoned out of fear, but leverage. Victor wanted the kid as collateral, proof Elena wouldn't leak if he held her sister hostage. But Elena twisted it, dumped the burden on me. The decoy, buying time to consolidate in my skin. I reached out to Jax, a ghost from nursing days, a paramedic turned ethical hacker, the kind who leaked hospital corruption for fun. Met him at a dive bar in Lakewood, Lily in a high chair gnawing fries. Body swaps? That's deep web shit.
Nora.
Victor's untouchable, lobbies harder than Big Pharma. His eyes flicked to Lily.
Softening.
For her?
Okay.
But it's suicide. We started with phishing Victor's inner circle. I posed as Elena, emails laced with intimate details only a twin would know, luring his PA into spilling server access codes. Nights blurred, Lily's bedtime stories interspersed with sequel injections, her giggles clashing with the clack of keys. The migraines evolved into echoes, Elena's voice pleading, then mocking. You were always too soft.
Sis.
This is survival. I popped Adderall scavenged from expired ER stock, chased with black coffee, chasing ghosts. By mid-May, we had a hidden drive in Victor's Palo Alto servers. Backups of swap sessions. One file, Twin Transfer Protocol, subject N/eHale. My blood ran cold. Hale? Elena had married him in my name. Forged docs during the swap haze. I was legally hitched to the monster. My probation a joke next to his prenup clauses burying assets offshore.
Lily?
His heir. Or pawn. The deeper cut, during my jail stint, Elena hadn't just wired escape cash, she drained my savings, funneled it to Victor's PAX. I'd suffered for her crime, only for her to compound it, leaving me destitute in a body that screamed guilty. Controversy brewed in my choices. Jax warned, exposing this blows up innocence. Tech bros lose jobs. Patients lose implants. But innocence? Victor's cures had killed dozens, misfired swaps leaving minds trapped in comas. Families shattered. I justified it. Eye for an eye. Body for body. Still, doubt gnawed. One night, Lily spiked a fever, her tiny form convulsing as I raced to urgent care. The doc's questions, "Where's the father?" hit like accusations. I lied, deployed. In that sterile room, monitors beeping, I vowed, no more half measures. Revenge wasn't clean, it was visceral, debatable. Was I saving Lily, or dooming her to a mother unmoored? We escalated. Jax scripted a worm, echo reverb. To infiltrate Victor's network via a compromised smart fridge in his guest house. Maids are gold mines for USB drops. It burrowed. Exfiltrating terabytes. Emails plotting my framing. Audio of Elena's upload screams. Victor's voice. The sister's perfect, expendable. I listened on loop. Rage crystallizing. Elena's betrayal wasn't survival. It was ambition. In my body, she'd schmoozed investors. Landed a TED Talk slot on neural equity. Nora Hale. Innovator. Me, Nora the fraud. Babysitting her cast-off. The app pinged again. Fix imminent. Pay up. But I ignored it. Reversal meant losing the leverage. Elena's biometrics unlocked Victor's vaults. Instead, I prepped the leak. Anonymized dumps to WikiLeaks mirrors. Timed for his quarterly earnings call. Jax hesitated. This makes you a terrorist in their eyes. Feds will bury you. I glanced at Lily. Stacking blocks into teetering towers. Better buried than erased. Tension coiled as summer heat blanketed Ohio. Drones returned. Closer now, buzzing like hornets. Capturing footage for blackmail reels. A package arrived. My old locket. Elena's childhood gift. Engraved inside. Sisters forever. Inside. A note. Stop. Or the kid goes next. Victor's hand. Elegant script. My hand trembled. Controversial? Hell yes, escalate. And Lily's in the blast radius. But back down? Let them win. I chose the wire. Jax's code humming as it breached the final firewall. Then the call came. Unknown number. Elena's voice, my voice, purring through the speaker. Nora. Darling. Miss me? Come to the vineyard. Bring the girl. Let's end this family feud. Coordinates pinged. Napa Valley. Victor's estate. Trap? Or olive branch? My gut screamed run. But Lily's drawing, a crayon scribble of 3 stick figures holding hands, tugged me forward. Revenge demanded confrontation. I packed a go bag, kissed her forehead, and hit the highway west. The Civic's AC wheezed, miles ticking like a bomb. 3 months in, the turn was here. But whose shock would it be? Interstate 80 stretched like a vein pumping me toward California's sun-bleached lies. Lily babbling nursery rhymes from her car seat as the Midwest faded in the rearview. I dosed her with Benadryl-laced applesauce. Harsh. Yeah. But necessary. No tantrums at 70 miles per hour with Victor's net tightening. My phone buzzed nonstop. Jax's texts. Abort. Feds on your tail. Ignored. The locket burned against my chest. A talisman or noose. Elena's invite?
Bait. Obviously.
But in her body, with her memories bleeding through like ink and water, I felt the pull, twin telepathy, or just the madness of swapped souls. Napa hit like a fever dream, rolling vineyards under a sky too blue, air thick with fermented wealth. Victor's estate sprawled atop a hill, modernist glass and steel, solar panels glinting like predator eyes. Security gates parted without a scan. They wanted me here. I parked amid Bentleys, Lily stirring groggy as I unstrapped her. Mama, no. Grapes, she mumbled, pointing at trellises heavy with clusters. I forced a smile, heart jackhammering. Soon.
Bug.
Big adventure. The foyer swallowed us, marble floors echoing, abstract art screaming money. A butler, starched, impassive, led us to the terrace, where Victor lounged by an infinity pool, sunset gilding his tailored slacks. Elena, in my old body, slimmer, sharper, perched beside him, a flute of champagne bubbling in her grip. She looked
free.
My freckles on her cheeks, my laugh lines smoothed by fillers. Nora, she cooed, rising graceful. You came. The shock hit like vertigo. Up close, the swap's seam showed, her gait off, like piloting a borrowed suit. Victor's eyes, ice blue, flicked over Lily dismissively. Charming. The child's groan. Power radiated off him, the man who dined with senators, who'd Neuralinked a senator's wife to hush her divorce. Antagonist incarnate, mired in schemes that made Watergate look quaint. We played Tea Party first, Elena insisting on catching up, Lily splashing in the shallows while words danced like knives. You look good. Sis, she said, voice mine but cadence hers clipped. Valley girl veneer. Motherhood suits you. Betrayal laced every syllable. I probed gentle. Why the drop-off? Victor's heat too much. Her laugh tinkled.
Heat, please.
It was a gift. You always wanted kids.
I
Evolved.
The
word curdled. Over charcuterie boards groaning with imported cheeses. Victor monologued, his vision, echo swap as salvation. Bodies are obsolete. Nora. Consciousness eternal. Lies. Of course, his log showed swaps for vanity. For evasion, Russian expats in starlit shells. CEOs dodging subpoenas. My crime? He'd pinned Elena's skim on me to test loyalty. A family initiation. I'd suffered the fall for nothing. Her nothing. Lily tired quick, curling in my lap as dusk deepened. Elena's mask slipped, a glance at the kid. Raw longing. She's mine. You know. My mistake. Mistake? The abandonment stung fresh. Collateral, I echoed her old line. Victor chuckled. Swirling scotch. Smart girl. But obsolete now. Sign the NDA. Reverse the swap. Walk away rich. The app. He meant his kill switch. Temptation nod. Normalcy. My body back. Lily's safe. But the worm? Ticking in his servers. Ready to flood the net with proof. Controversy peaked here. Decisions branching like fault lines. Reveal now. And chaos erupts. Cops swarm. Lily caught in cuffs? Or play along? Bide for the leak? Elena leaned in. Breath wine sweet. We can be us again. Twins forever. Her hand on mine, my hand, electric. Memories surging, childhood forts. Shared diaries. The pact to conquer the world. But she'd broken it. Hoarded the crown. Night fell. Stars pricking the velvet sky. Dinner dragged. Seared foie gras. Victor droning on philanthropy while his eyes stripped me. Elena's assets.
Appraised.
Lily dozed against my shoulder. Her warmth the only anchor. Post-dessert. He excused himself for a call, leaving us sisters on the terrace. Wind rustled vines. Carrying Elena's whisper. It wasn't meant to hurt. Victor. He promised a clean break. For both of us.
Lies.
Her hack proved it. She'd initiated the swap.
Dose me to steal my slate.
Why me? I hissed. Lily stirring. Elena's face, my face, crumbled. Because you took the blame. You were the hero.
I needed that.
Deep cut. I'd gambled freedom for her. Only for her to gamble mine. Rage boiled. But calculation cooled it. Reverse it? Elena. Now. She hesitated. Then nodded, too eager. Trap. She led me to the wine cellar. Cool and cavernous. Servers humming behind false walls. Biometrics, her palm, my palm, unlocked the chamber. Gurneys waited. Ivy's dripping neural cocktail. Lie down, she urged. It's quick. Lily in my arms. I complied. Straps biting wrists. The upload began, buzz in my veins. Code weaving through synapses. Visions. Elena's life unspooled. Victor's abuse. Not just ambition. Bruises hidden under sleeves. Lily's conception, a calculated merger. Sympathy flickered. But no, she'd chosen. Mid-transfer. I triggered the worm via a hidden implant Jax had jury-rigged, a subdermal chip from our scraps. Alarms wailed distant as data hemorrhaged, swaps exposed. Victor's ledgers bare. Elena's eyes widened in the half-light. What did you? The reversal hit. Souls yanking like hooks.
Pain.
Blinding. Me ripping back into my shell. Her tumbling into hers. We convulsed. Lily's screams piercing the din. Victor burst in. Security in tow, tasers drawn. Faces grim. You bitch, he snarled. Grabbing Elena's arm. Now truly hers. Chaos. Guards lunging. Me shielding Lily as the estate's sprinklers triggered. Soaking us in recycled rainwater. I bolted. Kid clutched tight. Through corridors to the garage. Gunshots cracked, warning. Or not. Echoing off concrete. Tires screeched as I floored the Civic. Barriers parting in the pandemonium. Rear view. Flames licking the mansion. Victor's empire igniting from within. Dawn broke over the Sierra Nevadas. Lily wailing from the adrenaline crash. My body, mine again, ached with familiarity. Probation scar on my ankle a badge. The leak hit headlines mid-morning. Hail Dynamics implodes. Body swap scandal rocks tech world. Stocks tanked. Feds raiding Palo Alto. Elena? Arrested at the gate. Her screams broadcast live. Victor? Fled. But warrants global. But the turn? It twisted sharper. Lily, feverish in a roadside motel, clutched her rabbit. Mama Elena, she whimpered. My heart seized. In the swap's echoes. Truth reversed. Lily wasn't Elena's biological daughter. IVF logs in the dump, my eggs. Elena's womb. A surrogate scheme to bind me closer. Victor's insurance. Family ties unbreakable. I'd been mother all along. Robbed by blood. Revenge tasted ash. I'd topple gods. But at what cost? Elena's calls flooded voicemails. Forgive me. Nora. It was for us. Lies. Or love. Debatable. I rocked Lily. Horizon calling east, new start. Or hunted forever. The motel off I-5 reeked of bleach and regret. Fluorescent buzz keeping sleep at bay as Lily snuffled in her sleep. Rabbit tucked under chin. My body reclaimed, raw, thrummed with aftershocks. Phantom itches where Elena's tattoos had ghosted my skin. A phantom fullness from her postpartum curves. News alerts pinged relentlessly. Hale's heiress in custody. Twins at center of neural nightmare. Pundits dissected it on CNN. Faces pixelated for safety. Debating ethics over egg creams. Immortality's promise versus privacy's theft. A cautionary tale of ambition unbound. One suit intoned. Cautionary? Try apocalypse for the one living it. Jax called at first light. Voice gravel from chain-smoking worry. You're viral.
Nora.
Feds want you for questioning. Material witness bullshit. Elena's lawyered up. Singing to cut a deal. Singing. The word soured. Back in Ohio. I'd been the plea bargainer. Her scapegoat.
Now?
Symmetry's cruel joke. And, Victor? I whispered. Lily stirring. Ghosted. Private jet to Dubai. They say. But his network's crumbling, whistleblowers crawling out like roaches. I packed quick, formula tins. Onesies laundered in the sink. No time for sentiment. The Civic's keys jangled like chains. Drive east. Jax urged, Canada border. New IDs waiting. But borders meant leaving threads. My duplex. Mrs. Kowalski's glares. The clinic job dangling like forbidden fruit. Probation? Shredded in scandal's wake. But trust? Fractured. Lily's parentage burned hottest, my eggs. Elena's gestation.
Victor's design.
I'd carried her biologically. Birthed through proxy. Only to have her stolen twice. Once in womb. Once in swap. Motherhood. American style. Commodified. Contested. The highway unfurled. Billboards hawking megachurches and monster trucks. A ribbon of red, white, blue normalcy mocking my unravel. Lily babbled, wheels go round. Oblivious to the chopper thrum overhead, news drone. Or feds. Paranoia itched. But so did purpose. Revenge's climax loomed not in Napa's blaze. But here, choices echoing. Expose more? Victor's Dubai Haven hid servers. Deeper dumps could topple regimes. or vanish. Raise Lily in shadows. Let karma's slow grind handle the rest. Controversial calculus. Heroism or cowardice. The media spun me villain. Vengeful twin torches tech titan, while Elena played victim. Teary interviews from Holding. My sister. She snapped. Pit stop in Reno. Casino glare bleeding into dawn. Slot machines chiming hollow victories. I wired Jax the last of Elena's pawned jewelry, seed for our fade. Lily chased pigeons in the lot. Her laughter a bomb. But Victor's note haunted. The kid goes next. Was it bluff? His ledgers showed child trials, neural tags for enhanced learning. Lily's birthmark. A faint neural port scar on her neck. Elena's beauty mark lie. Rage reignited. No more collateral. We pushed through Utah's salt flats. Mirages dancing like false hopes. Elena's texts pierced the burner. Nora. Please. Lily needs us both. Victor forced it, the marriage. The swap. I was trapped.
Trapped.
The word mocked my jail cell. Her freedom in my skin. But echoes whispered truth. Her bruises and visions. Victor's grip iron. Betrayal bidirectional? She'd framed me too. In complicity. Debatable absolution. Wyoming's winds howled as thunderheads brewed. Civic hydroplaning on rain-slick blacktop. Lily wailed. Thunder her terror. I pulled over, cradling her in the downpour's drum. My shirt soaked, Elena's blouse. Discarded now. Show. Bug. Mama's here. Mama.
Mine.
The twist inverted everything, not victim, but architect. I'd suffered her crime. Yes, but birthed her legacy. Revenge, not destruction. Reclamation. Jax's contact met us in a Billings truck stop, grizzled ex-cop turned forger. Smelling of diesel and despair. Papers say you're Andy to the tyke. Clean slate. Canada bound. He eyed Lily.
Softening.
Cute. Worth it. Worth it. I nodded. Cash exchanged. But as we rolled north, border lights winking. A final ping. Victor's avatar on the app. Voice synthesized. You win this round.
Nora.
But echoes linger. Threat. Or truce. Vancouver welcomed gray. Fog-shrouded harbors. Tim Hortons steam-cutting chill. We settled in a Kitsilano walk-up. View of False Creeks and evergreens. Lily toddled parks. Calling gulls fluffy, while I gig-nursed under aliases. Probation ghosts faded across lines. Elena's trial-dominated feeds. Plea for reduced time. Painting Victor puppet master.
He
extradited eventually. Empire ash. But the real shock's afterglow. Debates raged online. Forums dissecting twin ethics. Body autonomy in the age of upload. Heroes or hubris.
Me.
Villain or victor. Months blurred. Lily's 4th birthday. Cake from a mix. Candles flickering like Napa's flames. Elena wrote, prison stationery. Words smudged. Forgive or forget. I burned it, but kept the locket. Engraved promise tarnished but true. Revenge ended by tragic. Elena caged. Victor broken. Me remade, mother in full. Scars woven into strength. Happy? In Lily's grin. Yes. Debatable? Always. America's dark heart thrives on the gray. Yet echoes whispered. Victor's tech lingered. Black market swaps birthing new monsters. One night. Migraine faint. I dreamed Elena's plea. Join me. I woke resolute. For Lily, I'd guard the gate. The turn shocked. Yes, but turn's birth tomorrow's. And ours? Unwritten. Fierce.
Ours.